Hello everybody, welcome to my channel Live Beautiful with Vamsi. In this particular video, I am going to give you a brief idea about 3-day tourism or travel plan in Germany. 3-day tourism plan may seem very small, but well, I strongly, in case you are on a budget or in case you want to cover the best of the Germany within 3 days, I guess this travel plan or itinerary might be very helpful to you. Let me be very frank with you, each and every city I am going to mention in this travel plan is worthy of visiting for 5 days. But as I said, in case you are on a budget or in case you have some time constraint, this travel plan will definitely help you to see the best of the Germany. Okay, I will briefly introduce you to the Germany's rich cultural heritage, picturesque landscapes, and some of the most vibrant cities of Germany. First city is of course Berlin. Well, let me briefly touch upon the main attractions of Berlin. First is the Brandenburg Gate. Enthrall yourself at the beautiful medieval architecture of the Brandenburg Gate. It is really one of the iconic landmarks of Berlin and one of the most visited tourist spots in Berlin. And next point is Checkpoint Charlie, which has huge historical background and historical value. This is very near to the Berlin Wall. Even today, you can see some checkpost type of arrangements there. You can take some photographs, and this is one, as I mentioned. This is also a very important. One of the important tourist spots in Berlin. Next one is, of course, the Berlin Wall. I don't think Berlin Wall requires any introduction. Up to 1990, Germany was divided into East Germany and West Germany, and as many people know, East Germany was communist and West Germany was capitalist. And in 1990, this Berlin wall was collapsed, and the whole Germany became into one. So this is a very iconic landmark of Berlin. Now, continuing on the day one itself. Well, some of the very famous landmarks or tourist spots are the Museum Island. As you can see in the photograph, the Museum Island can be reached with in the help of a small ferry or a small boat. This is a very famous landmark or a famous museum spot in Berlin. It attracts thousands of tourists during the tourist time. And another museum is Pergamon Museum, and another museum is Altes Museum. In these museums, you find a lot of ancient artifacts which span way back to archaeological era, pre Christ era. You find a lot of beautiful artifacts. Continuing day one, nightlife. Of course, in a city like Berlin, there are plenty of famous nightclubs. But the most three famous nightclubs in Berlin are Berghain Panorama Bar, Club der Visionaire, and Watergate. Well, all these nightclubs have very good reviews, and many people who visited these nightclubs have said that they had a marvelous time in these nightclubs. And most of the people said that is worthy of the money. Well, as I don't need to mention, you can have alcohol, you can have dance, you can have disco. Well, you can enjoy yourself in these nightclubs. Now, on the day two, let's shift to Munich. This is a city with perfect blend of history and modernity. Now, I have briefly touched upon the 5 famous landmarks which you can visit within a day. First one is Marienplatz. In Marienplatz, it is basically a church. It is basically a church, and the very famous part is at the entrance of the church. At the entrance of there is a huge cathedral where soldiers come out. Soldiers come out every 1 hour and beat a drum. Beat a drum. So the best thing to do is go exactly at 12 o'clock. 12 p.m. So you'll see this little soldier toys coming out and beating drum 12 times. Exactly at 12, this place is very crowded. And next very famous landmark is Frauenkirche. It is a famous church again. It is a famous cathedral. This is also a very famous place. And next is Newfenberg Palace, which belongs to German royalty. And next is BMW Museum. Well, you can see all kind of iconic BMW cars which span right from the beginning of the 20th century, right from the famous Roadster, the famous the famous F1 cars. All these kind of cars are available in this museum. And of course, if at all you are an alcoholic or a alcohol lover, Hofbrauhaus is famous for authentic beer experience. You can drink huge mugs of beer and you can enjoy yourself. Okay, so these 5 spots I would these kind of 5 spots are the most famous when it comes to Munich. Now, next is the most famous tourist spot in Germany, the Romantic Road. The name itself is Romantic Road, and it is a very scenic route through Bavaria, which comprises of picturesque towns and castles. Okay, now there is a famous castle, like a fairy tale like castle, nestled in Bavarian Alps. Bavarian Alps. Actually, this particular castle has been used in many movies for shooting. It's a very famous landmark, and as you can see in the photographs, it has a real kind of animated look. And there is a very small town called Rothenburg ob der Teuer, which is iconic since the medieval times. This is also very famous, and the best way to travel this iconic romantic road is hop on and hop off bus service. Hop on, actually there are some packages which drive through this romantic road for 5 days, but because I have an itinerary only for one day, for only one day, I just suggested it. In case you have a service from hop on hop off bus service, you can usually easily avail it, and you can go through the various castles and picturesque spots. Actually, many people who traveled through this road have mentioned that traveling through this road is very beautiful. This road with Alps on one side, beautiful greenery on the other side, it's an extremely beautiful drive. So in case you want to enjoy this particular drive, you are most welcome to do it. And finally, thank you. I hope this brief itinerary will give you a nice idea about planning a 3-day itinerary in Germany. And in case you like this video and you want to see more aspects about Germany, please subscribe and like this video. Okay, so thank you very much.